So, like, if we have our own reality, how does that work? Is that how the Duane verse happens? Are there multiple Duanes with their own reality? How does that work?
Yeah, yeah. I make decisions, and this
Wait,
goes
are you
along.
in control of the other Duanes?
It's not really about control. That's in the personal term, and you use that at times, just like driving your car. Yeah, you control the wheel. You're at the controls. You steer the wheel, etc. Yeah, you have to do that. In this sense here, it's about awareness, and so again, it's not about control. It's about awareness.
Well, like you said that you could decide for one of the other Duanes to be like an animal, right? How does that work? How do you are you like
You,
the prime Duane?
Eric, you said that. You brought that up. I didn't.
I'm trying to work with the hypotheticals here and try to figure out how this works. Maybe okay. Let's start from square one here. So maybe you should explain how the Duane verse works.
Well, at this very moment now, because it's always now, okay? So it's about awareness. Now that's different, okay? See, this is what life is. Life is awareness. And your thinking is in creation. That is not awareness. You're aware of that, and you're thinking that that's what things are, because according to your thinking, that's how you've been taught. And so your awareness is operating that thinking stuff, just like, you're operating your video games. You're deciding to do that. You're deciding how you think. So what I'm trying to present to you is that how to see, all right, more than just your thinking.
So that's how the Duane verse started. I'm not sure how that connects.
Here's the idea. I'm sure you've been to the beach and seen the ocean. That's my guess.
Yeah, been there, done that.
All right. So if we break it down, if we want to better understand the ocean, well, there's many ways to look at it.
We should drain it.
One of the ways to look at it is made up of a drop at a time, isn't it?
It sure
One,
is.
one drop at a time. That's something that we can agree upon and understand. It's just a lot of drops all together, and it makes the ocean, right? If you
Wait, are we
separate it,
measuring this in metric? Because I don't know metric.
if I mention it, we will, but I haven't.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Imperial units.
We're talking about drops. So you, me, everyone is a drop in that ocean. The ocean of what all life is, an endless ocean, an endless sea of drops. And so not only are we individual in that ocean, but we are part of the entire ocean. So who can say how many of us there are?
Wait, you're saying there are other Erics?
Well, of course there are.
Are any of them animals?
Well, you
Can
keep
I
going
decide that?
animal, human, bird, that's a body type. I'm talking about awareness. That's different. You're talking about body types.
So they don't have bodies.
You decide, okay, if you're going to make other bodies, like you decided you made
I could
this
just
body.
decide that.
You
Cool.
decide this body. That's why you're in it. When you're driving your car, did someone else decide it? No, you decided the car. You decided to drive it. You're in
But
it.
so
You're driving you. You're
how
the
do I
decider.
decide to create another body?
You have other bodies already that you've created.
Can I make another one? Could I have 6 or like 7 or 8?
Whatever you want to deal with, you have to deal with it.
What does that mean?
Did you ever see the movie Frankenstein?
No.
See, again, you need to have a lot of experience to understand what you're going through objectively. I would suggest you see the old movie Frankenstein. I think it was in the 40s. 40s,
Seems
yeah.
so old. Is there like is there a new live action version?
Oh, there's many. Yeah. A real good one is Von Helsing with the guy that was the Wolverine in the X-Men. What's his
Oh,
name?
is that
Hugh
is that the one
Jackman.
with the hot werewolves?
It has many things. So, you should
Okay.
write these movies down. So again, just pick a movie. Just look up Frankenstein. There's many Frankenstein
Well, I
movies.
watched Shrek 2.
Well, Shrek is something different.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, uh, you're in a different generation than I am. See, I have a lot of references going back to the 50s in my experience, even in even more things than that, etc. You're the newer generation. You're like computerized, okay, according to the system. So that's why you don't know these things, because again, there are other things going on besides your computer system. And what these things do, what they help you do, Eric, is they give you objective views, like the experience you went through there that you explained. It's to give you an objective view of yourself to eventually be able to recognize the real you. That's what all this is for. Creation is for the purpose of you going through all this experience, no matter what it is, to eventually recognize the real you, and then from there recognize what all life is. It's all references, but it's when you wake up to see what these references refer to. And then at some point, you don't need the references anymore because you are aware, and that becomes the fun part, to where you can, utilize creation with a real purpose, and then it goes from there. It becomes a living sincerity that you can't even imagine. That is so much better than anything here. But you got to go through the steps to recognize that it's recognition now. It's not about, at first you read things, you go through your experiences, etc. You hear things, and then from there you put it all together. But you have to decide that. It's not going to be done for you. Just like making your dinner in your house, you got to do it. Yes, it's a lot, Eric. Step at a time.
It sure is, man. I would love to go across the Duane verse someday.
Well, I suggest, as your imaginary campaign manager,
Right.
that you first figure yourself out. Okay? So again, and here's the reference too. In other words, what you're preparing in the kitchen, okay, what does that show you? You burnt your meal. You need to practice being creative for yourself and figuring yourself out instead of just burning your meals all the time, burning yourself up. And thinking that, oh, I'll just hop out the window and I'll just go to the system creators and get what they make, and then we'll just eat that. See, the food represents the ideas that you carry with you. So, in other words, you need to practice, okay, with being creative so it's beneficial to you instead of just running to the system to get their ideas, thinking that they're going to fix you when they're not. They're just going to robotize you even more.
King is gonna make me into a robot.
It's not about Burger King. Burger King
Okay.
is a reference, a metaphor. Okay, if you know what that means, it's a metaphor. It's not about
Well, you
burger.
said we don't need references anymore.
No, at a certain point you'll get there, but that's 50 years. Okay.
Wait, so if you don't need references anymore, how is Burger King a reference?
Again, in 50 years you won't need references, but right now you do.
So I won't need Burger King in 50 years.
Not about Burger King, I keep telling you that.
Okay. I thought it was about Burger King.
No, it's not about Burger King, McDonald's, Jack in the Box. It's not about any of those things. They're just a reference. It's something that you know. So
Have you been to Burger King?
life is going to utilize what you already know as a reference for you to gradually wake up. But if you keep thinking it's about Burger King, then you're not going to wake up. You keep thinking that it's Burger King when it's not.
It's about awareness, not about Burger King.
That's right. Now, everybody doesn't have a one-on-one coach like you are at this one moment. Most people are struggling to figure themselves out, so they give up.
They're going to Burger King too much.
Well, first of all, you need to figure yourself out. So again, the reference is what you burnt in the kitchen. Do you want to keep burning your meals? And you want to keep running to something that's already created in the system? That's what Burger King represents. It represents something already created so that you don't have to be creative. You can just be robotic and go buy fast food like all the robots do.
So you're saying I need to create my own Burger King restaurant.
You need to learn to be more creative, first of all, with your thinking. And so again, that's what you were doing. That's what the experience was showing you. Yeah, to be more creative because again, what you made didn't work. So you decided to be more creative, which is a good thing. Okay. And so this gives you the hint.
Have you been to Burger King in like the last 10 years? I don't feel like they're very creative, I'm going to be honest. They've kind of gone downhill.
Again, you're taking it literally. You're taking all this literally. And then you just stay in your own thinking, you see. As long as you take the experience literally, then you just stay in your own thinking. That's as far as it goes. Look at all the people out there in the world. You know, you're thinking what you're thinking and they don't care. They're not interested. They don't agree. You're in your own thinking. That's it. That's as far as it goes.
Should part of my campaign, you're my campaign manager, imaginary or not, I don't really know what the imaginary part means, but we'll ignore that. Should we make it a part of our campaign to remove all Burger King restaurants? Because if they're keeping us from waking up, we need to like get rid of those, right?
Well, when you're talking about getting rid of things, that's quite a task.
Well, I could just make the law, right? If I'm president, the big
If.
P.
So you got to get past
God, I
if.
wish I had a big P.
You have to get past if, okay, because you're not there. So it's all if. Till you do it, it's all if.
Could you invite some of the other Duanes to our group?
Well, there are awarenesses beyond my personal self here that do what they do. And I learn from that also, because there's always more to all of us than meets the eyes in this experience. Okay, I see what's
So you're
going on.
saying there's a dark Duane?
When I say something, you start making things up.
Well, I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together here to make 4.
Well, you're doing it with 1 and 6, and it doesn't make 4. So the thing is that I never mentioned what you said, and that's all recorded, so it's on the recording. So whatever you said and about the animal and all that, you made all that up, you see. So again, number 1 is you have to figure yourself out first. You want to start with yourself and learn to see yourself objectively and figure out your personal self, okay? And you will see it in the world all the time. And movies are a good example of this. You want to understand that because if you don't, then the personal self will just rule you. In other words, you've already routined and robotized your personal self because you've agreed to the indoctrinated literal
Wait, I'm a
system.
robot.
Yeah. Well, you're robotized.
Oh no.
You're robotized to the system, okay? And so again, that's okay. Robot, human, mind, it's all the same thing.
There were like wires in me.
No, see, you've been taught that there's a difference, but they fooled you. It's all the same. It's all the same thing, Eric. There's no difference. Yeah.
We're all robots.
Well, it's like aliens. You know what's so funny is that we've been taught to think, oh my gosh, there might be aliens out there. Well, duh, what are you? See, people don't even see themselves. They don't see themselves on a planet going through black space. Well, what the heck do you think you are? You're an alien too. It's just a different body type.
I mean, I am a reptilian, so yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, it's all the same thing. It's just your idea of things, okay? Remember, everything came from the dirt, all right? So does your body. No, it came from the dirt. Everything did. And you eat from the dirt, came from the dirt, you're sustained by the dirt, it's all dirt. Now that sounds funny, but it's true. In the physical sense only. So we need this experience. It's a funny experience. This is what it is, yeah. But you want to better understand it. And you want to better understand how you have agreed to the system with all your likes and dislikes and etc. Those are your tap lines. You have those. And no one's going to touch those. You know, they're yours for as long as you want. Just like Neo in the Matrix. They're yours for as long as you want. Yeah, very real. But you don't see them because you're not aware enough yet. But you will. You'll see them. New you, new you.
No, no,
Ta-da. New you. Until next time, Eric.
See you soon.